G'day guys, today we're going to be making a video that has been requested from a few of you guys. You guys have hit me up on Instagram and in the comments asking how much my 2006 Suzuki RM250 cost me to build. So in today's video I'm going to be breaking it down, what parts we use on the bike and how much everything costs. Before we get into the breakdown, I just want to say that no parts were sponsored to me for the build and it was all paid for out of my pocket. However, MotoX Parts gave me a discount, so that helped out hugely. Some of you guys may know, in building bikes it gets real expensive pretty quick. So yeah, any discount was muchly appreciated. So I'll leave their link down in the description. This isn't sponsored, but yeah, they've helped me out. So if you guys need any parts for your bike, go and check them out. Yeah, also my work, I paid for everything at cost, which was a massive help. Yeah, so I'll chuck a counter up here of the total when I'm adding up the parts for you guys. If any of you guys are wondering, that's in New Zealand dollars. That's probably why it's more expensive for some of you guys from the States and stuff. Yeah, at the end of the video I will tell you guys how much it cost me to actually build it, and then how much it would have cost if I was paying for everything at retail. So yeah, we'll jump straight into it. So first up, the bike originally cost me $1,500, which looking back at it now was expensive for what I got. Later model RM250s, they're getting quite hard to find in New Zealand, so I suppose it wasn't too bad of a deal. So first up, I just want to get the processes out of the way. So powder coating cost me $260. I powder coated the frame, the hubs, the rear shock spring. What else? I powder coated the little brake holder, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and all the side covers, the water pump, power valve covers, the head. So yeah, that's pretty much all I powder coated. And the zinc plating of all the engine bolts and axles and stuff, that cost me $55. And the vapor blasting of all the aluminium on like the cases, subframe, swing arm, brakes, all that cost me $200. So it would only seem right to start at the heart of the beast. So the engine. First up, we've got the full rebuild kit from MotoX Parts. So that involves the crank, the piston, the seals and the gaskets, and that came in total at $460. Got new OEM crank bearings, which were $140. Water pump shaft, as you know, I snapped the water pump shaft off, and that was $65. The new impeller was $30. The new hot rods transmission bearing kit was $150. The spark plug, which was $30. Righty, so next up we'll move on to the intake and the exhaust. So first up, air filter was $18. The All Balls carb rebuild kit was $25. The fuel tap repair kit was $30. The new fuel tap was $30. The little hoses and stuff, all that, they were $35. I don't know if you guys remember, but the original Pro Circuit Platinum, which was on the bike, that cost me $350, but I ended up selling it for around that as well. And then we've got the Works pipe, which cost me $500 by the time it got here. And then yeah, we've got the Pro Circuit Shorty, the R304 Shorty, and that was $200 as well. Also had to buy a new airbox, or a new second-hand airbox I should say, and that cost $100. And then I had to buy new pipe mounts, which were $60. Moving on to suspension. So for front forks, it is just the stock suspension. If you guys remember, I had the upper fork tubes anodized, and yeah, that cost me $150 for both, so $75 each. The new oil and dust seals were $40. The oil was $15, and I redid the bush kit inside the actual tubes. That was $40, and then I've got those little air bleeders at the top, and they cost me $20. Now for the rear shock, we've got the bumper. As you guys know, yeah, the bumpers on old bikes, they deteriorate after all those years of riding and abuse. So a new one of those run me $35. Oil was $55. New seal head was $90. The rim anodizing cost $130. So what's that, like $65 per rim. New spokes, so they're stainless spokes, front and rear. They are 100 each. Rim locks were 10 each. Rim tapes were $15 for both. Tubes were $55. Tires were $280, and then the XL stickers, just because they're XL rims and I wanted it to still look nice, so they cost $15, and then truing was $50 for, and that's for both front and rear wheels. The miscellaneous bearings throughout the whole bike. So first off, the wheel bearings were 100, front and rear. We've got the steering stem bearings were 37, linkage was 160, swing arm 125, and the upper shock bearing was 20. The part that really makes the bike is the gold accents of bling all throughout. So we've got the rear brake pedal clevis, the rear brake pedal, oil fill plug, we've got the master cylinder caps, front and rear. We've got the wheel spacers, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we've got the shifter and the case saver as well. So yeah, that stuff all total to $310. Brakes on this bike, the front and rear all balls caliper rebuild kits were $80. Master cylinder front and rear rebuild kits were $80. The lines were $230. They're just steel braided lines. And then banjos were $150. Replaced all 4 of them. And the brake lever was $15. The front and rear rotors cost $100 each, and the pads were $30 each as well. We've got works connection frame guards, so they are on both sides if you haven't seen them. And yeah, they protect that fresh powder coat on the frame, and then the radiator braces keep your radiators from being tweaked. So the frame guards were $100 and the radiator braces were $140. 4 controls up here on the handlebars. So we've got the bars that were originally off an RM250. So they cost me $80 off Trade Me. The ASV unbreakable clutch lever, super nice, makes you pull really easy. That was $130. The ODI lock-on grips are an absolute must on bikes. I absolutely love them. And yeah, they run me $50. The throttle cable cost $25 and the clutch cable cost $28. And then yeah, the new kill switch cost me $15. So for the drivetrain, up the front, I think we've got a 14 tooth front sprocket. Don't quote me on that, but that cost me $18. Rear sprocket, I think it's a 50 tooth or 52 tooth. That cost me $33. Gold O-ring chain, that cost me $100. The new chain slider cost me $35. And then the upper and lower chain rollers cost me $60. So we're getting close to the end now. So the radiators that originally came on the bike were really tweaked up and they were spray painted black. So I found a really straight set of new radiators. Yeah, they were $90. And then the yellow hoses, which look really sick on there, were $40. And then I replaced all the hose clamps with new stainless steel ones, and they were $25. And we've got the hour meter, which is great for your maintenance and all that. that run me $20. And then we've got the Boyson parts. So we've got the black factory racing clutch cover was $200. The ignition cover cost me $180. And the Boyson rad valve, if you can see it in there, that cost me $370. Alrighty, we're on to the last few things now. So for the plastics, if you guys haven't seen the video, I'll leave it linked up in the top here. But I actually bought 2 plastics kits. So I bought a completely yellow RM Restyle kit and a full black kit. So they cost $350 each. And then yeah, I made my own kit sort of. So I've got the black rear and the yellow front. And then I also had to buy the yellow fork guards, which were $75. And then I've got the yellow radiator louvers, which cost $50. I had the handguards on as well. Oh, they're just up there, but I decided to take them off. They cost me $60. Got the new mud flap at the back, which cost me $50. And then the tank, as you guys know, my other one got a hole in it, which was pretty rough, but yeah, that tank I got used from a dealer here, which was $150. So that covers all the plastics on the bike. For the seat and graphics, I've got this super sick custom seat cover made by DR Trim. You go and check them out, their website's just there. And yeah, they do full custom seat covers. So I got the black zebra grip seat cover, so with the yellow ribs and then the Suzuki on the side. So that turned out real sick. Cost me $150. So yeah, it's not a bad price for the seat you get. And you also have got like a vinyl cover underneath the seat to prevent water getting into your foam and making it go mouldy, and also to stop the seat cover from ripping on the plastic pan underneath. For the graphics, Macaulay over at Mac Media made me a sick custom graphics kit. If you guys are in New Zealand, definitely go and get your graphics from him. I'll leave his link down in the description below. So you go and check him out. He does full kits for pretty much any model of bike and any year. So yeah, turned out real sick. Full kit cost me $360, and then I had to buy new tank decals when I got the new tank, and that cost me $90. And then I've got just the shower fork decals to stop from rock chips and stuff, and they cost me $30. For all the new bolts I got on the bike, I got this huge kit of all different size bolts, nuts, washers, everything. There's everything it comes with. You got this from MotoX Parts. That costs $50, so it's not a bad deal. And then got new plastic hardware with all the little collars and stuff, and that cost me $30. For someone to build a bike like mine, yeah, it cost you just over 10 grand if you weren't getting any discounts or anything and paying full retail price. But yeah, it only owes me about $8,000 to $8,300, and yeah, that's pretty good considering you've got a bike like that can keep up with pretty much any of the late model 250s. Plus it's not stock either, it's got pretty much every aftermarket part you can buy for a bike. So yeah, that's super sick, and it just shows like any discount that you can get is a huge help in building bikes. Like it adds up real quick. Like that's over 2 grand in savings. Yeah, that's gonna probably wrap up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and it answered some of your questions. I really enjoyed building the bike, and yeah, as you guys know, we're building the RM125. So we've got the frame just down there, and then we've got all the other parts. So we've got the engine cases there, and then the crank and all that stuff. So yeah, after this lockdown thing, we've only got like a week to go. So yeah, it's getting pretty exciting, and we can finally dig into the RM125 build, which I absolutely cannot wait for. I honestly like wrenching on bikes just as much as I do riding them, so yeah, I'm stoked to get back into the RM125 and get some awesome content out for you guys. So if you guys enjoyed the video, go down below and smash that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and head over to Instagram and check us out. The link will be in the description, as well as MotoX Parts and Mac Media. I'd just like to thank you guys for watching the build, and yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video.